Hey there, internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of Trove Gaming. Going to do a little something different tonight. This is something that I've kind of had bouncing around in my head for a little while. So I'm going to pitch a video game movie. Now, video game movies aren't going to be great. You lose too much, I think, in taking the player agency away from them and putting it onto a screen. I think that's why we often see a lot of movies fail. But we have seen movies that emulate ideas of video games succeed. You have, for example, Scott Pilgrim takes a lot of influence from video games. You have Live, Die, Repeat, or Edge of Tomorrow, as it was originally called, is very much a video game type of movie, and that's kind of, those are the two of the games that kind of stand out as video game movies that aren't video game movies. And yeah, admittedly, neither of them, set the world afire either, but they got video game movies right more than what we normally see from video game movies. So with that in mind, I'm kind of taking that idea, but I'm applying it to an actual video game property. So for this first installment of Trevor Pitches a Video Game, or whatever I'm going to end up calling it, we are going with Contra. And before I really even get into the pitch, I'm just going to throw out here the actual Wikipedia plot for the original game Contra, and we'll use that as our jumping off point. In 2633, the evil Red Falcon organization have set a base on the Galuga archipelago near New Zealand in a plot to conquer the world. Two commandos, Private First Class Bill Reiser and Private First Class Lance Bean of the Contra unit, an elite group of soldiers specializing in guerrilla warfare, are sent to the island to destroy the enemy forces and uncover the true nature of the alien entity controlling them. So that one-sentence synopsis of the original game just screams 80s. Of course, that's when the game came out. You have future, you have war-torn, you have aliens, you have commandos. So I'm going to basically take that as our jumping-off point. I'm going to promote our characters up a little bit, so they're not, fresh-faced privates. And I'm going to add in one more sentence to the synopsis. When they discover an ancient spell that offers them seemingly unlimited lives, their mission becomes a whole lot easier. So we're going to take the Konami code and we're going to throw it into Contra the game. These two characters, Reiser and Bean, are going to stumble upon, in the jungles of New Zealand, they're going to stumble upon some kind of ancient mystical temple or something that has them do up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. And they will end up getting, as the original Contra gave them, 30 extra lives. Not unlimited lives, 30 extra lives. And so we're going to have them kind of play. They're going to start off with their squad, but their squad is probably going to get decimated by this alien threat. They're going to go into this jungle setting, face down these enemies. They've been called to action, basically, but they don't know necessarily what the threat is. They definitely don't know that it's an alien threat that they're going to have to be facing off. So when that alien threat faces them down, it obliterates their squad. They only escape by the skin of their teeth and basically stumble into this temple. Playing these two characters, I'm going to have Chris Hemsworth and Hugh Jackman, and because he did such a wonderful job and I think would really nail the humor action that I want for this, Taika Waititi. Also, it being set in New Zealand seems to work perfectly for him. He can make a cameo as, a native guide for them if he wants. So what we're looking at for this movie is basically just full-on 80s action insanity. It's Predator meets Rambo meets something modern like Edge of Tomorrow. So after stumbling into the Konami code, they wind up with these weird markings on their arms, on their skin, and they basically say, I don't know what this means, but we've got a mission to finish. We've got to go do this. So they go out. They manage to take a few more aliens down, but they get gunned down in a blaze of glory, explosions if you want. But they come back, and their markings have changed a little bit. So we can have some humor here as to, like, oh my god, we're back from the dead. Are we invincible? They don't go crazy into, like, thinking they're invincible, but they also don't have as much of a fear of death as they once did. So they continue progressing through their mission, they get killed a few more times, and then at some point somebody notices that the markings on their arms are shifting. And they shift when either one of them dies. And eventually they realize that they do have to play it a little safe because this appears to be some semblance of a countdown. So they're continuing their mission, they're actually pushing through and they're making their advance, they're getting to the alien base or whatever is going on. I haven't really figured out the enemy side of things. They are just kind of the mindless action grunts that are going to die and be a lot of cannon fodder. But they take these guys down a handful of times as well. So we get to the point where they've only got 2 lives left, so they know they have to be careful, and one of them goes down. We see Hugh Jackman as like the head officer. We see him take a hit, take a grenade or something for Chris Hemsworth to let the young buck continue on in this quest. He's the one who can fulfill the mission, and so we end up getting like a heartfelt dying kind of monologue with these, and so we have a little bit of a tonal shift at the end. And now you've got this one guy who needs to live enough for the 2 of them and survive and finish the mission to honor his dead commanding officer. He does, he blows up the base, it's all happy, fun, action, as you would expect, and then he goes home, kisses his lovely wife, and end of the film. So that's my bare bones pitch for Contra the movie. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter, and until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.